Rather lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Happy New Year. Yes, I was gonna say that. Of course, everybody's saying he's gonna say that. Yes, I was going to say that, and I've said it. Happy New Year to the Cossy's Arsenal family, and of course, Happy New Year to all the gooners out there, whether subscribed to this channel or not. I'm gonna say Happy New Year, Happy New 2022. Yes, lads, finally we are there in 2022, and this is the first video I've ever done in 2022. It has gone down in the records, in the books. This is my first time on the internet in 2022, and I'm going to be discussing lots of Arsenal content, lots of Arsenal stuff, match reactions there. All your content is going to be coming your way in 2022, so make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and make sure you also hit the like button for the new year. Let's get this one to 500 likes, because let's get likes. New year, new things, new targets, new ambitions. Last year it was 300 likes. We were smashing it over the top. This year our targets should be 500 likes per video, and of course this morning show that you people love so much should be 500 likes. So make sure you're hitting the button, and you're also joining me on a daily basis for this show as well. We are sponsored by the beautiful people at Melbourne, and they are saying Happy New Year to you as well. Today we take on Manchester City. You can bet with them. Link is in the video description. Use my promo code Cossy as you sign up, and you will win mega bonuses with them. So Manchester City, Arsenal, like I said yesterday, go for both teams to score. I think we will score against City, and they will also score against us. You can win some money on this new year. We're going to be discussing lots of Arsenal stuff. Like I've said, Dennis Zakaria talks have started between us and the player, after Zakaria telling Borussia Mönchengladbach that he doesn't want to stay with them next season. He's going to be leaving for free in the summer. Arsenal are desperate, according to what I've seen. They are desperate to get in Dennis Zakaria on a free, but also Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has been left to go for AFCON earlier than any other players, so we will be discussing that as well. Douglas Louise also back in the radar. We talked about him yesterday with Bruno Guimaraes. We will try to dive into a little bit deeper than that. Watkins, and of course, who's going to be our first signing of the January transfer in 2022. All that is going to be discussed in this video. So without wasting a lot of time, let's get our party started. To start off with the party, lads, I'll start off with who is gonna be our first signing, and that could be Philippe Coutinho. Now again, lads, in the past 48 hours, I've been a little bit on and off trying to find more authenticity about this story, and I can confirm that it looks like more likely, it's becoming more and more likely that Philippe Coutinho could become Arsenal's first signing of this of this transfer window of this year. We want a midfielder. We are desperately in need of a midfielder. Philippe Coutinho is available there, and of course, if you look at the comments that Nicola has made on this transfer window, they actually reassuring. They're more reassuring that Arsenal might actually go and get in a loan deal for Philippe Coutinho, because when he was asked about transfers there in his press conference ahead of Manchester City, I'm very sorry I didn't do that. I was really resting, preparing for 2022. He said that there will be some loan deals. They're watching out. They might actually go for some loan deals. It's not, he said it's not an easy window. It is very short, and there is a lot of work to do. But he said it's gonna be more loan deals. The Arsenal will be trying to do more loan deals. There will be some loan deals we try to do. Of course, we know the likes of Ainsley, the likes of Balogun. All those loan deals have to be processed in January. But also Philippe Coutinho, that is another loan deal that we are eyeing, and it could be our first incoming transfer after Ainsley Martinez crosses over to Roma in Italy. Philippe Coutinho might be the player that actually comes in there at Arsenal. So because the manager Mikel Arteta speaking about transfers, confirming that it's not going to be an easy window, but there's some loan deals. I think this is really interesting. And when it comes to Mikel Arteta and the comments he's been making around transfers, how he's actually shifting from every day, every press conference, he's really shifting from the wall, coming to a little bit of positivity in terms of his comments. The first time he was asked about transfers, he said, listen, do not expect something big, do not expect anything in this January transfer window, because we are not really going to be doing any business. Then in the next comments, he said, look, it's a very difficult window, but we will try to assess what is available. We'll try to assess all the possibilities that are available, and we will see what we can do. through. And the third time, the manager has said that, look guys, we will try to do some loan deals. There will be some loan deals coming in, but it is not a really easy window. It's a very short one. There's a lot of work to do, and of course you need to target those priorities. You need to get them really well. You need to get those strikers, you need to get those midfielders, and you have to be perfect. You have to be spot on. You have to get those transfers right. So I think I do agree with Nicola when it comes to loan deals in January. The budget is not that readily available. Of course, we know that it's very difficult in January to get in that budget, 30 million, 40 million, unless you're Tottenham Hotspur and you didn't spend in the summer, unless you're Chelsea and you can spend 100 million pounds in every summer, unless you're Newcastle, unless you're Bayern Munich. But we Arsenal really cannot spend like that every transfer. We cannot spend 100 million plus. We can't spend 40 million or 50 million in January, because in the summer they will be looking at getting in a striker, and of course that means we have to really spend wisely in January. We have to keep our money, we have to keep our budget really manageable, so that in the summer we do go and get in a very important striker. So Mikel Arteta, I will really support him there. Let us go for some loan deals. Let's do some good loan deals. Coutinho might not be the worst signing. Of course, you could look at the likes of Arthur Melo. You could look at the likes of other players there available on loan deals. But what I'm gonna say there, lads, is if we can get those loan deals in to help the squad, especially in terms of squad depth, I will be definitely on the side of Mikel Arteta. So he says there, loan deals will be happening, but it's not going to be easy because the window is short and it's really difficult. So Dennis Zakaria there is wanted by Arsenal. Of course, now you guys know that I've already reported about our midfield crisis. I've already reported that Mikel Arteta is really desperate and eager to bring in a new central midfielder, a new midfielder, and that could be in January or even in the summer. Douglas Louise, one of them, Bruno Guimaraes, the other, and now Dennis Zakaria back on the radar. Now with Dennis Zakaria, I'm gonna say this, it's a very easy one. It's a very easy transfer. I've already said Arsenal just need to convince the player. Borussia Mönchengladbach know that in the summer, at the end of the season, the man is gonna be moving on a free transfer. You can't waste that. You can't waste such an opportunity. It's a very massive one. It's a very big one. Dennis Zakaria is a really massive talent. If you brought him in Arsenal, he's really going to have a massive impact. Is it the player that I want in terms of priorities? Definitely not. But I'm gonna say, in terms of adding quality to the squad, in terms of having that kind of squad depth, I think Dennis Zakaria joining Arsenal would be very good idea. I would definitely take Dennis Zakaria, Bruno Guimaraes, and Douglas Louise, all of them in one way. Of course, it's never gonna happen, but I'll take two of them. I'll take Douglas Louise or Bruno Guimaraes, and I also take Dennis Zakaria, because again, he's that kind of player that's really solid in terms of his defensive game. He's really good. He has already decided that he wants to play as a defensive midfielder, and I think he's really doing it well. So if you can get in Dennis Zakaria and also bring in someone else like Bruno Guimaraes, we will have a complete midfield, and I do support the fact that Arsenal do want to bring in Dennis Zakaria. Now moving on, lads, there about what's happening there in terms of our transfer still. Like I said, Bruno Guimaraes, there are talks between Arsenal and Lyon to take on the player, to sign the player. It's been reported by Nicola that said this one is going to be a very difficult deal for Arsenal to do. I spoke about it yesterday. It's not that easy because Lyon do want to keep the player. They would actually love to keep the player. In the summer, there was an availability that you could actually sign. 25 million euros was the price tag. How did we miss out on that one? How the hell didn't we sign him on 25 million euros? But of course, the player decided that he's gonna be staying with Lyon, and that is why the deal actually didn't come through. Now his price tag has actually raised to 38 million euros, close to 40 million euros. It is really indicating that he's really developing well as a player. Arsenal much interested. Talks are ongoing. Let's wait and see what's gonna come up out of those talks between Arsenal and Lyon for Bruno Guimaraes. Can it happen in January? Can it happen in the summer? I would be very glad to wait. But of course, what's happening there in terms of a central midfielder, Bruno Guimaraes, if he fails to join Arsenal, then we will be going for Douglas Louise. I spoke about it yesterday, and I would love to say it again because yesterday the microphone was not so good. I'm gonna say very sorry to you lads because it was really high and it had a lot of echo. But today we are back again with very quality audio. So what is happening is Mikel Arteta, as reported by The Athletic. He is a big fan, a very, very big fan of Douglas Luiz, and he would love to bring the player down at the carpet in London at the Emirates Stadium. Now, what I understand is that this is not the first time we have been linked with Douglas Luiz. It is almost the third time we are linked with Douglas Luiz. Mikel Arteta understands that he loves the player. The media understand that Mikel Arteta loves the player, and I also know that this player is really, really held in high regard. Edu, of course, the Brazilian connection is also there. He wants Guimarães. Everyone wants Guimarães. But of course, if Guimarães cannot join Arsenal in the summer, we might go for the man himself, Douglas Luiz. Again, it's another kind of midfielder that is really, really good at possessing, very good at passing around, very good at distribution. He's not he's not one that is really going to give you that kind of flair, the flair that player like Santi Cazorla would actually give you. But again, in terms of distribution, look at him as another Jorginho. Look at him as another player that can really, really, really dictate the tempo of the game. Another player that can actually help us get those amounts of possession that you need in the Premier League, especially if you're going to win games day in, day out. So in terms of midfield lads, then that is what I can offer in this morning. Philippe Coutinho there could be alpha signing, and obviously Denis Zakaria, Bruno Guimarães, and Douglas Luiz entering the new year with links to Arsenal. What is going to happen? I'm still waiting to see. Of course, the comments of Pep Guardiola have been really, really intriguing, and I would love to discuss them right about now. But of course, smash that like button. Let's get this to 500 likes. This year, our targets are really, really big. So make sure you're joining us. Make sure you're joining the family by subscribing and also hitting that like button. So the man himself, Pep Guardiola, ahead of our game that is going to be played today. I've not done a video about it. I did it very, very intentionally. So I'm very, very sorry. So listen, lads. Pep Guardiola there speaking about Arsenal, and the comments are really, 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 really good, because he came out and said this Arsenal side in the past 5 years that I've been manager at Manchester City, this is the best one. This is the best Arsenal side ever since I came into the Premier League, ever since I came here in London, in the UK at Manchester City in Manchester. I've not played a quality Arsenal side like this. And he has actually come out and said that yes, it's going to be a big blow for Arsenal that Mikel Arteta is not available, because he said the character, the ideas, the zeal of this man, the zeal of Mikel Arteta that he understands is really, really important for Arsenal Football Club. And he said it's going to be it's going to be a very, very big blow for the team as a whole. But he also said that he understands that he's going to be playing one of the best teams in the league. I really, really love that. I really, really love that. I was one of those people that when I had Pep Guardiola say that, I said, really, this is progress. This is progress, because he said we are playing one of the best sides now in the Premier League. But also note that we are playing one of the most informed sides in the Premier League. It's not going to be an easy game. Of course, guys, you might think about it as flatter, you might think about it as flattering, but it is not flattering. When you think about the past 5 years, how we have really, really dropped there, it shows that this team is actually the best team Arsenal have had in the past 5 years. We are back there in the top 4 really, really steadily, and we are trying to fight there on to get back to the Champions League with a lot of quality, with a lot of belief, with a lot of attitude. This team, according to Pep Guardiola, it is the best team that we've had in the last 5 years. Of course, that is where the question comes from in this video. Do you think this Mikel Arteta side is the best team we've had ever since the post-Wenger era? And also, even when Wenger had not left the last 2 years of his tenure, is this the best team that we've had? Obviously, let me know down in the comments below. My opinion about that is, I'm going to say, I do not want to get carried away. I do not want to get ahead of myself. Yes, I might say this team is really, really quality, but let me see. I will judge them at the end of the window, because at the end of this, at the end of the season, I will try to do my best midfielders, my best defense, my best defenders, my best strikers in this team, and the overall appraisal to the team. Let's wait then and try to understand, is this the best Arsenal side that we've had in the last half a decade? Moving on, last, according to The Athletic, they are claiming that yes, Ollie Watkins is the striker that is really, really loved by Mikel Arteta. We've been linked with so many of them, Dusan Vlahovic and a couple of others, but they have actually come out and put out a short list of players, of strikers that are being linked with Arsenal at the moment, and they said these 5 are concrete. without beyond belief, beyond doubt, the players that Arsenal will try to sign in that striker position. In number 1, they put Dusan Vlahovic. In number 2, they put Jonathan David. In number 3, they put Alexander Isak. In number 4, they put Oli Watkins. And in number 5, they put the man himself, DC. Yeah, and of course, according to The Athletic, they've actually written a detailed report about Oli Watkins and Mikel Arteta. And they have said that he loves the player. Mikel Arteta loves Oli Watkins because of his ability to play in different positions on the pitch, especially in attack. He can play for you as a left winger. He can play for you as a right winger. He can also play for you as a false 9. He can also play for you as a traditional 9. We've seen him last season playing in that 4-2-3-1 as a lone striker, and this season trying to adapt to a 4-4-2, playing alongside Danny Ings. So you can see that he's really a very versatile player. So Mikel Arteta wants him, and of course the Athletic have actually confirmed that it's not going to be an easy deal for Arsenal to do in January. It's a very difficult one, but they're in the summer. You never know. Arsenal thinking about doing it in the summer. I'll be glad. I'll be definitely glad, because you lads on this channel, if you've been following this channel for the last 1 or 2 years, you know how much I rate Oli Watkins. You know how much I really love Oli Watkins. I think he is a good player. I think he's really developing well. 25 years of age at the moment, turning 26. I think that is the man Arsenal should go for. Experience, played in the Premier League, played in the Championship, played for Brentford and Aston Villa. That is enough experience. And for me, he has to take on the next step in his career. That is the perfect timing in the summer. Go for him around 40 to 50 million euros. That should do the deal. But anyway, lads, Arsenal much interest there in Oli Watkins. And lastly, the only story I will discuss as we end, I think around 2 stories, is Nicola Pepe's 40 million transfer that's going to be accepted by Arsenal in the summer. Now, of course, I've always talked about Nicola Pepe and what's going to happen with him. It has now been confirmed that Arsenal will be willing to get 40 million euros from the sale of Nicola Pepe. Any club that comes up with that money, a couple of clubs from France, a couple of clubs from Germany and Italy are much interested in the player. If any club comes in with 40 million euros, we will be selling to them the man himself, Nicola Pepe. So let us wait and see what is really going to happen there with Nicola Pepe. And finally, Ben White has responded to rumors and talks of him becoming the next Arsenal captain, and said, look here, I've not done it before. I've never been an Arsenal captain before, and I've never been a captain before. But anyway, it is a very big step, a very big opportunity. If they can give it to me, if I can become Arsenal captain, it will be such a great honor to be captain of such a big side, of such a legendary club like Arsenal, and I will definitely take it on. I've already said that I do not see leadership skills in Ben White, but what I'm gonna say there, lads, is the players do change and players do develop very fast. So if he can actually develop into a captain, if he can develop into that player that can actually provide us with the leadership qualities we want on and off the pitch, the level of discipline he has as a player is really fascinating, then I would definitely give him my captaincy. But of course, I would love, I would love Kian Tierney there to be my next captain. Let's wait and see this year if we will get to choose a new captain, and who will Mikel Arteta go for. And finally, lads, today as we take on Manchester City, I would love to remind you that our manager there, Mikel Arteta, will not be on the touchline for the last time. I'm gonna say it, he will not be on the touchline. It was asked about the environment, the feeling that it's not going to be on the touchline, and he said, look, I'm gonna be in a very special room. I'm gonna be closing myself in a very special room, looking at that game in a very different angle. And of course, it's very difficult that I'm not going to be with the side, with the team there, with the boys on the touchline, but I'm gonna be with them, and I'm gonna be in. And it says it's gonna be in a small room, closing himself there, trying to watch the game. I think it's a very big blow. It's a very difficult game. We needed our manager. Look, this is not me trying to be a crybaby, but I understand how much being and having a manager on the touchline really means. Of course, we saw that clash between Mikel Arteta and Jurgen Klopp. Mikel Arteta trying to defend his side, and Jurgen Klopp as well trying as much as possible to defend his side. So it's not easy to have a game like Manchester City on New Year's Day, imagine, without your manager. But we hope Mikel Arteta really recovers soon. That is the latest around Arsenal. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the like button, because more videos, around 100 videos to come for you here in January, here on the Cossy Arsenal podcast. And I promise I will not miss a day. I will not miss an update. Smash the like button and let me speak to you right in the next one. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all you lads, and thank you for supporting the podcast.